105th Street. Chapter 3. PB's Beginning. 105th Street wasn't just pavement and storefronts. It was a stage, and every hustler who stepped onto it played their part. The corner store called Radios was the heartbeat. Doors opened at 5 a.m., closed at 1 a.m., and in between, the block never slept. Radios wasn't just a shop, it was a gathering ground, a council of old-school hustlers swapping stories, plotting moves, and watching the young blood sharpen their game. Across the street sat the mailbox, a shoeshine parlor where deals were whispered over polished leather. A few blocks down, the car wash churned out more than clean rides. It was a front, a meeting place, a cash flow. Within this tight radius, PB carved his empire. By the time most kids were still chasing dreams, he had already stacked $1 million, brick by brick, hustle by hustle. But PB's story didn't start with Radios or the mailbox. It began on West Chester Street, a place etched into his bones. That was where he learned the rhythm of survival, hustling at an age when most were still learning multiplication tables. PB's birth was legend in itself. November 10th, 1977, born inside the federal penitentiary. His first breath carried the weight of steel bars and concrete walls, but destiny had other plans. He was carried straight home to his grandmother on 105th Street, cradled in arms that knew struggle but refused defeat. From that day forward, Ilgit of 14 wasn't just where PB lived, it was where he was forged. Every corner, every storefront, every shadow became part of the story. Radios gave him the stage, the mailbox gave him the whispers. Westchester gave him the roots, and PB gave the street its legend. Across 105th Street. Chapter 3, Extended, PB's first hustle. PB was barely 12 when he made his first move. Radios had just opened its doors at 5 a.m., the smell of fresh coffee mixing with the cold bite of dawn. The old hustlers were already posted up, leaning against the counter, trading stories about the night before. PB wasn't supposed to be there, not at that hour, not at that age. But 105th Street had a way of pulling him in. He slipped inside, notebook tucked under his arm, eyes sharp, watching. Across the street, the mailbox was already buzzing. Men sat in chairs, shoes polished to a mirror shine, talking about numbers, cars, and corners. PB knew the rhythm. Radios was the stage, the mailbox, the echo chamber. If you listened long enough, you could hear opportunity. That morning, opportunity came in the form of a man with tired eyes and a pocket full of loose bills. He wanted cigarettes, but he didn't want to wait. PB saw the hesitation, the impatience, and stepped forward. "I'll get it for you," PB said, voice steady. "But it'll cost you." The man laughed, but PB didn't flinch. He ran to the back, grabbed the pack, and slid it across the counter. The man handed him $1 more than the price. PB pocketed it without blinking. It wasn't the money that mattered. It was the principle. Radios had rules, unwritten but ironclad. Respect the hustle, respect the grind. PB had just played his first hand, and the old hustlers noticed. One of them, a tall figure named Red, leaned down and smirked.
"Kid's got teeth,"
he said.
"He'll bite if you let him."
PB didn't smile. He just nodded, eyes already scanning the room for the next move. By noon, he'd won errands, fetched coffee, carried bags, and flipped favors into cash. By nightfall, he had more in his pocket than most kids saw in a week. It wasn't luck, it was instinct. And on 105th Street, instinct was survival. Across 105th Street. Chapter 4, The Test. By the time PB turned 13, Radios wasn't just the corner store to him, it was a classroom. Every errand, every favor, every whispered deal was a lesson.